We're live.
Good morning.
You were looking away from the screen. I wanted to let you know. Hi, everybody. Thank you to all the people who wrote in, and we have over 11 people wanting to be producers of our show today, Scott.
Well, it always helps to get something to move on.
That's right. It really helps Scott and I get the old, what are they thinking about today? And I want to
Thank,
thank everyone who's gotten up on a bright, sunshiny Sunday morning. And I was just telling Scott, he lives where it's going to happen, but supposedly the weather report I watch, the national one, said they're going to drop 30 degrees in Wisconsin and 40 degrees some places on the East Coast. It's going to get into the 30s in the UP.
so was
And
that like halfway up Wisconsin or all of Wisconsin?
oh, the thing's going to sweep through Wisconsin. So I don't know. I don't know how far things are from you. I have a hard enough time handling distance here. Um,
Well, if it's north and the UP, that's way north. I mean, maybe the
well,
front is going
no,
over.
it's actually the line actually waves down and it makes a big point of swooping up all of Wisconsin. It actually goes down to my hometown. And I can remember summers when all of a sudden you'd wake up one day and went, "Where's my winter coat?" So, for those of you who have that, think of me today when it's 107. And it's like 107 at 4 in the afternoon. And I have not gone to bed any night this week. And I go to bed at midnight that it wasn't in the upper 90s. So, and I'm praying for the people in Indiana who've been without electricity for 11 days.
That is horrid.
I've been through that here, but it was in the winter. And in the winter here, there's things you can do if you have a gas stove and things. And people here had space heaters. But I remember one of the years I was in graduate school, we were without power for 13 days, and I was running a daycare. And we used to open the daycare really early so the parents could get their kids in there that were living in those circumstances. And Dallas was without power. Parts of the city were without power for almost 3 weeks. And I remember the woman who ran the daycare with me, where she lived, they were without power for almost 2 weeks. And there was some announcement on them. This is when you listen to radio to get your news. This was in the 70s when my kids were little. And they were saying that the coach of the Dallas Cowboys didn't have power, and she said, "I don't give an F. I don't give a flying F. I'm without power. I'm living at my house without any." They chopped out. She actually had neighbors who had firewood, and they were sharing out their firewood. And that's I would rather be without power here in the winter. If it's in the summer, you're screwed. Because
Hmm. A few people say your volume's a little low. Did
okay,
you change anything?
I will go check it.
So it would be your output volume if it's that.
I just raised it up about 20 points. Does that help?
I think so. I
Okay.
noticed you were a little low. I just figured it was what it is, but other people
That's
can't
because I
really.
was blasting some. Their volume things are so weird. And you know how Libby always says from Australia that her volumes gets played with? Well, now it's Steve Judd. They have his volume so low that you have to crank it all the way up to the top to get anything. So that's Nancy's gripe for Sunday. Let's move on.
Let's just do it. It kind of helps set the mood with the cards and feelings. If we just do a general read for the week,
I already did mine.
good. Let's do that again, and then we can. That helps kind of focus on other issues and see where we're
Okay.
going. So, what are the cards saying for the week this week?
You can shuffle while I'm talking. We're feeling very defensive, but we're capable of building our own defenses. We are not going to see much relief from the emperors or from the governments and the organized groups around us. So it's up to us, and that is going to mobilize us. More people are being spiritually motivated and mobilized to understand they have to take their part. They can't just wait for the solution to show up. This is doing nothing but building strength for us, and I think a lot of this has to do with the eclipse. The eclipse is on the 27th, 28th, depending where you are in the world,
Jesus.
but we're still in the hangman state, so it's going to seem a little bit like same old in a way, but actually I think things are changing under the surface. Yes, Mr. Scott?
I got the Hangman 2 starting it off.
Ah.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck. A lot of bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Swords. It feels like this administration is fighting back with all its might to try to change the things, but I get better energy coming in with the Ace of Cups and Empress and the Fool,
Mm-hmm.
meaning a new start. And this administration's on the defensive and with severe anxieties with the Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands. So I think we're heading to an end with the nines coming in here. I
Mm-hmm.
think last week our read was doing 8.
Right. We're getting to the right number. 8,
So
9, and then 10. 10 is the end.
the chaos is ending, coming up to an end zone. But yeah, it isn't really a good week for this administration. They're always on the defensive here. And it feels like there's nowhere to turn for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good news.
Well, it's good news, but it's like I don't want things to go well for them. I want things to go well for us. They don't seem to be able to make anything. When things go well for them, they're making more money and taking it from us.
Okay. Where do you want to start with
I don't
questions?
know, but there's one at 10:06 you need to hit about our Texas governor. God, what a disaster Abbott is.
Um, was that start already? Or I missed
Nope,
it?
you missed it.
10:06.
Hell, it's got a giant hello everyone, and then just part of the Antique Roadshow, governor of Texas. He has been on forever. He's going to get us $2 gas and lower property taxes and blah blah blah. So Lynette must live in the same. That's it. You're going to see more and more. All I know is I don't drive often, as you all know. First of all, my car's not air conditioned. It's 107 by the end of the day. Even if you go out and it's 88, and I have one of those little fans that blows up on your face, it's hot. Um, every time I go out, the gas is 10 cents more. It was three 339, then it was 349, 359 yesterday when I was out driving, getting frames to build more grids. I'm still building grids, so I will go out and get your grid frame. Um, but every time I go out, I see evidence, and that's just me. I don't go out all the time, and fortunately, I have kids that work from our house, so we don't have to commute. But in the old days, when I commuted 40 miles either way to work, I don't know how I would have lived in this economy. He's going to lower property taxes. He's the reason property taxes are so friggin' high. What this state needs is what it will never have because the electorate would have to approve it, an income tax. Which, if the income tax is structured properly, is fairer then, because you got to have food and you got to have things they put sales tax on. And this state runs on sales tax. And I had a sister years ago, one of my sister-in-law's sisters moved to Houston, and they were so excited to get away from Illinois' income tax. And then they got their property tax bill, and their property tax bill was more than their income tax bill would have been in Illinois. So,
Mm.
just
What's
saying.
what's the sales tax in Texas?
It depends on which city you're in, but I think in Dallas right now it's 8.8,
Hmm.
and
That's
0.59.
only 3% more than here. They're trying to live on that, huh?
Yep, and that 0.5% of that sales tax goes to mass transit, which is one of the best things our sales tax goes to.
Good.
Property tax, I don't mind paying the property tax that covers Parkland Hospital and that the university hospital system. I don't mind that money at all because if I get really sick, I have a decent hospital to go to. What I don't like is all the surrounding counties can come into that hospital system and they have not contributed at all. And we've tried in the legislature to change that several times. And don't get me into tax inequities. It's forever with me. I'm an accountant in my heart, so. But yeah, Abbott's sinking like a rock, and he went out to, well, it's Tallarico's going out into West Texas and out into the rural areas where they're trying to stick those AI centers down people's throats, and they're going into counties that are already running out of water, and they want to take what little water they have left. It's not a good picture. It's not happy. We're not happy campers in Texas. And when
Yeah,
I moved,
especially when water isn't really available at a high rate there. That's
there's no
ridiculous.
water. There's no water.
And you want data centers there. Makes no
Hmm.
sense.
And the people found out that unlike in northeastern and states east of us, those states have laws that allow counties to control those companies coming in. Texas doesn't have the same laws that other counties have used to block AI from coming in. And that's been a big push too. So there's 100 ways from nothing to not like that man and much of what his party's done. So
Yeah, there's so
I
many so many questions. I thought we had one on data centers, but I didn't see one.
well,
I'm trying to scroll over them, have something, but
okay.
um
So
oh, never mind.
somebody's all excited because they're with the family this morning. Yes, you are our community.
All right, we might as well just get into something. I was trying to
Oh,
I was
yes,
trying to
I'm trying.
scroll through them, but
Mm-hmm.
we just got to get going and clicking so I don't waste people's time here. Um, get into the Natalie Harp situation. How
You know
do
that
people feel?
those kind of things have been happening around them. This has been highlighted because Levitt left. Levitt resigned from her job as being spokesperson for the administration. When she got left on the jet that could have gotten blown up by the terrorists, and Trump took Natalie with him. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Let's see if the American people, if this is an issue. I tell you, every wife who's been dissed by her husband has been dissed by his wife. This is one they can relate to without the billionaires being there. But oh yes, oh yes, this is waking everybody up. This is an issue they can't understand. It affects how they see him, how he takes care of his own family. Okay, and they will position Natalie as the evil person in this, but it is going to strike truth for people, and it's going to make people be disaffected from Trump to have wands upside down. It's going to be an issue, and it's going to be one people can understand. You got to find things that your voters understand that they're doing wrong. And
I don't know what my spread came out kind of weird. I think it went into the psychosis of Natalie.
mm-hmm,
I must have been thinking of it wrong or something, but it just comes out is that she's his caregiver.
mm-hmm,
She's in love. it's the devil. It could be his downfall, but this is a weird experience here going on. 'Cause I thought I was asking about,
Him.
well, I asked about the Natalie Harp situation. I didn't ask about
And
American
you got
Shield.
Natalie Harp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got Natalie Harp. She's
How
unhinged. She's in love
mm-hmm.
because I get the lovers and I get, addictions and her expressions of the Empress towards him. She's delusional.
Well, look at if even a bit of what people say about how bad he smells, and if you've ever been around an old person that's in that state, how bad they can smell. This woman is kowtowing to a lying sack of crap, and he smells like it.
It's just crazy. With, I mean, the cards that showed up here.
I had a flash that she's going to be. I had a flash she's going to be part of his downfall, and it's not just because we're understanding how strange he is, but that she is really going to be part of his downfall.
Yeah, that's what where the devil came in there.
Mm-hmm.
But just odd.
I did a reading with another reader just between the two of us, and we saw that she was found and put in place by oligarchs.
Well, she has those connections.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible, but eh,
Yeah.
I don't
Can we
know.
go somewhere else? It's making my stomach hurt.
She wrote those love letters.
Yeah, that's why melanoma came back.
Well, melanoma is just damage control.
Yeah.
I mean, in their minds. But she was back in following him around the next day or
Yeah.
so. So melanoma is
Anything that
melanoma.
disturbs melanoma and makes her come out of her cave, I'm happy for. Okay. Oh God. Everybody let's
But Indiana power outages put a Democrat governor in 28. We can look at the energy, but see, the problem is people have very
short memory.
short memories on stuff. So if this powder outages happened in September of
Mm-hmm.
28, probably it'd be enough people pissed off. But
Well,
let's see what the energy is.
Abbott killed what was it? 130 people died when the power went out in that winter. My grandkids were in a house with the only heat they had was their gas stove, which is not a safe way to heat your house in Austin. Um, and they've elected him again, so keeping people focused.
Yeah, I mean, Uvalde, Texas shooting happened. Beto hit them hard about what happened there, and Beto lost.
I know,
It's just
but he lost by far less. Okay, I'm sorry, folks.
Indiana governor.
Our fall allergies have hit early, so I'm a little stuffed up. Well, we put have a Democratic governor. I got a yes because it is changing. People are beginning to understand that these people are the ones who make the decisions. They've not always focused on that. There's some women candidates or women in general who are going to really help push this. People are going to want people that work with them and care for them and two of cups that can get along with them, and they're tired of voting for Big Daddy. Big Daddy's not going to solve your problems. So
um, I get the people have to self-reflect yet
Mm-hmm.
with the hermit, and then people
I
are
think.
waking up a little bit here because they are delusioned by the Republicans in charge here, and
Mm-hmm.
they want better with my angels card. So the energy outcome is they want strong um, courage, leadership, or respect with the
Mm-hmm.
strength card. Some voters are just really lazy,
No kidding. fifty
but
percent of them.
but they want but Indiana wants the work to be done with the three of coins. So there is an avenue here
Mm-hmm.
to be to have a Democrat governor, but the current energy is I don't know. But
Well,
do people are seeing change? It's just we got to get the word out. You know,
mm-hmm. I think the
um,
key to this race is going to be who can capture, who can get the younger voters out, get them to
yeah,
really vote. That's what's changing in
yeah.
Texas.
It depends on who has the money too. With that king of coins,
That's right.
money wins races usually.
Well, maybe not, because where are you going to put your money? Used to be certain media markets and certain things, and you put that percentage in there. Doesn't work that way quite so much right now.
It's all about it's every election. People getting the word out and getting people that are lazy about voting to vote, and it will happen.
Okay.
It seems like I just get that feeling like the people are so worried about everything don't vote. You know what I mean? That
Well,
could
our
need the biggest help.
everyone who's here Sunday morning votes, and they know the trick is to vote early. And when I grew up in Illinois, it used to be vote early, vote often, but we don't do the often anymore.
Ms. Cruz said, I've seen some amazing AI ads. Will Democrats begin using AI ads? I think they're cracking down on
They
using
have to
AI more.
market. And you know what? If the image works, if the image it creates works, is fine. The problem with AI ads is if it's making the truth up from whole cloth. You know, it's just not telling you the truth. But let's see if AI is going to have a real effect in this election. You want to ask that way?
Sure.
Oh, and speaking of AI ads, you know, Obama used Facebook and the internet very effectively in 2008. There'd be, you'd be looking at there were some games where you'd be seeing a game you'd be playing, and there'd be a vote for Obama sign in the graphics. So they would not be alone in doing this. But let's see, AI is going to have an effect.
Yeah, I am seeing good AI ads coming out and being used. A good message. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be cheaper to create than actually doing advertising here, but we need to be aware of the bad AI and stuff with the devil here in the end and the bad people. But it can't be used. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be used.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, those seeds have been planted, but they're not waiting for fruition, and they haven't really learned how to tame the subject yet. But then the rest of it is, once they understand how to wrap their message up in the right images, we're all going to be moving on to better places. That's what the Six of Swords in this card. She's running across a bridge of despair, but she's holding the wand of new life. And a lot of people are going to make their decisions and change and leave what they used to believe behind and move on. So, but still,
So yes, I guess it would be Carrie. I
Mhm.
did see Miss Nixon did really well without a lot of money.
She did field. She did what Sean does. She was door to door, people talking, and that's you jumped in ahead of what I was going to say. You can put up all the ads and all the images you want. The most thing that's going to most influence you, the first one is if you speak to a candidate, if you actually touch and feel and see a real candidate. The second one is if you have a neighbor or a person of influence who tells you about a candidate that they really like. That's why the Republicans invading the churches in the 70s and the 80s was so successful for them in raising up the Republican Party image, because they were saying, having these pastors say all this stuff, hiding it behind the bullshit issues like gay rights and stuff, and instead of showing you what the Republicans were really doing. So, but Nixon did a great job. And if you live in an area where you can help or walk or do something, it's each time you walk to someone's door, that's the equivalent of a $12 contribution to their campaign. Nationally, that's what the number works out to be. So if you can find someone who's walking door to door, and I know around me, they're having a lot of Saturday walks and people out. And try it. Go with a friend. If you think, oh, I couldn't do that, go with a friend, try it once. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. But you might find out you like it.
Well, what we're seeing in these elections, special elections, is that Democrats have been going 10 to 14% points higher.
But he's not on the ticket.
He's not on a ticket, yes.
So they don't. So his. It's called your rainbow effect. It's who you can bring along with you. The aura, kind of. In our world, we call it the aura. No politician has an aura effect like that.
So,
His absence will. I'm going to ask if his absence will affect the vote.
yeah, I'm going to look at the second part.
Okay.
Like, are the GOP truly in for a surprise in November?
Okay.
That's going to be my
that
thought.
I'll do that question. That's a good one.
Are the GOP in for a huge surprise in November? Are the GOP?
Oh my God. It's going to be all over for them. That's a 10 of rods. They're going to have to lay it down. They have not figured this out yet. That card in my deck means that guy's got all of what he needs to know, but he's not putting it together. They're going to find themselves out, the Five of Pentacles, Scott, out in the snowbank looking for a thing. It's because they don't know how to run what they need to know. And because they're the Page of Cups reversed, they're little liars. But yeah, the GOP is going to be caught with their collective pants down.
I hope so. So in the past, I get the GOP was run by the orange one, King of Pentacles, and a lot of donations with the 10 of Pentacles. But the current energy is the shift. The shift is changing to the Democrats with the 8 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Magician. The element of surprise is the Magician. The High Priestess is, like our destiny, our consciousness coming to light. And it's coming quick. The speedy news of the 8 of Wands. And then I get the Page of Pentacles. To me, that's usually a new path, a new direction. Then I have the 10 of Wands, the heavy load they're carrying, and the Wheel of Fortune. Change is coming. My outcome is they're going to be in the 9 of Swords. That anxieties, the bad emotions. 7 of Pentacles is the hard work. 10 of Cups, happy home, and judgment upon them. So yeah, I believe they're in for a surprise. and I'm getting 10s here. A lot of 10s. So we're at a completion stage. So, I think I have a lot of 10s here. Wheel of Fortune is the 10.
Yeah, yeah.
10 of Wands, 10 of
And the
Cups,
world is the end. Yeah,
10 of
Pentacles.
Pentacles. Judgment card is 20, a double 10.
Mhm.
So there's your 10 points. So you can expect at least a 10-point swing, at least.
That's what they're projecting.
And these polls are hard to understand because they're not correct.
Well, polls, you got to look at. I remember some poll that showed, oh, they were going to sweep early in the cycle. And they went to like something like 600 voters across the whole country. Really? So, yeah, polling is a whole thing all unto itself.
But things are moving in our direction to hold this administration accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard, but Pete Hegseth's wife's been traveling with him, getting advice.
Sitting in high security meetings.
Yes.
All they have to do is kidnap that woman and she'll spill her beans like nobody's business. If she, the problem is, does she understand what she's looking at?
I think she's more or less keeping an
She
eye
was
on him so he doesn't get in trouble.
she was a producer at Fox News, so
Oh,
she
really?
yeah.
Pete Hegseth's wife. Tell me about Pete Hegseth's wife.
She's moving on. She's going to move on as fast as she can. Um, she's actually probably in a better frame of mind to understand what's going on than he is. But no, there's no depth to this thing. And whether she gets in trouble, it depends on how many people she really pisses off. And if I was a sailor on any of those warships, I'd be going for her skin. But she's going to move on. Remember, we've seen this before. This is a good card to see for Republicans. They're running across the bridge of despair, looking for a new life, and it's a matter of her. She's a lot stronger than he is, but it's a yes no onto whether or not we'll get. There's so many of them. You know what? They're all committing so many crimes and doing so many things that are outside where they should be that it's like, how would we'd spend. I will not live to see all these people go down. There's two I want to see go down. I want to see Stephen Miller go down, and any of Trump's sons. Take any of. I'll even take Barron.
Yes. I think she was asked because Hegseth was such a horrible, doing such a bad job.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get the government higher ups asked her to come in to balance the situation with Pete. So he'd stop screwing up.
She's like his binky. She's like his blanket. She keeps him calm.
It's
Do
his,
you know?
it's his Natalie. It's his Natalie Hart.
Yeah, no, she was his producer, and she got pregnant by him, and he was at that point divorcing his then wife, and she went ahead and had the baby, and they make a big point about she didn't have an abortion, you know. Fine, she had the wherewithal to support that kid anyway. They had that baby, and then there was a big pause between when he finally married her, and then he married her. But during all that time, she was a producer at Fox News.
So all this finagling behind the scenes, I get a Tower moment coming for her.
Mm-hmm.
So even though she was a star and the magician making things happen, it's gonna end up in a tower. So there's gonna be a drastic change here. We're in a Seven of Cups delusion if you think now Todd Blanche or anyone's gonna hold her accountable.
Todd Blanche won't hold anybody accountable for anything.
And I think wishes come true here with her getting locked out. She
Mm-hmm.
ends up in Eight of Swords, locked out or removed from the situation.
You just
So,
have
but
to,
I
well,
don't see trouble. I just think she gets removed.
we have to have some military brass left with some real brass that will throw these folks out as soon as they get a shot at saying this one needs to go. So, which is the other problem here. Where do we go next, Mr. Scott? Who else do we trash?
I don't know how you do it quick. I got the cards I pull. I always put them in random places
I do
in
too.
the deck back. Okay. Next question. Okay, we looked at that. Tyson beef. Let's switch it up. Tyson beef shut down at least one beef plant I've seen, maybe more, because of the shortage of beef.
They laid it. They laid off 5,000 workers.
Yeah, they shut down a plant somewhere. Um, but yeah, there's just not enough animals on the feedlots anymore right now, and there wasn't enough, animals coming in to do the work, so they consolidated. Um,
I can think. I don't have to lay a card on that. If you've got fewer animals and less stuff coming into the market, learn to eat sprouts. And learn to eat the sprouts you grow because the sprouts that they're producing now have that horrible chlorospora or whatever it is.
so, I mean, just thinking about it, less supply means higher.
Mm-hmm.
For me at work, prices have been dropping a little since
Mm-hmm.
not a lot, but it has been dropping down lately. So I see the energy moving forward, though.
Okay.
It's just like gas prices here in our oil supply.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime it's got to bust, right? When, when the when the reserves are gone. Let's see about the beef,
Where's the beef?
or the U.S. beef, should we say?
Mm-hmm.
Not horses or Argentinian beef.
Or Australian beef. Australian beefs. They're cows. You got to fly it across the Pacific. So
Hmm. Hmm.
oh, it's going to rectify itself. I got the sword of truth. We're beginning to face the truth that people are not investing their where they should be putting stuff in. But there's going to be a sudden and rapid change in that market. And it's nothing you and I can control. But someone's going to come in and say, this has got to stop. I think there's going to be a change. I don't know where the stock's going to come from. Beef takes a long time to raise. It's not like chickens.
Yeah, it takes 18 months to raise a animal to sell.
Or people are going to find,
Not like a hog. A hog takes 4 months.
right.
A chicken, a couple months.
Maybe everybody's going to become a vegetarian, Scott.
Could be. Huh. So I got leadership authority in the past with the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands. That's the energy, how to move forward. But there's been a tower moment here, a failure, um, a drastic change because of
Mm-hmm.
the shortage of animals. So they made a different path here with the Page of Coins. There is stressors out there with the Ten of Wands, but it feels like the whole company is as a whole are kind of united
Mm-hmm.
in this stresses with the Four of Wands. My outcome is Queen of Coins, so that's grounding, money, the Moon, and the Eight of Swords. Hmm. We got restrictions. We got secret dealings. Restrictions. Payment shortage. It doesn't show prices going up with these cards. Eight of Swords can be a recovery, but it's through blind actions, tensions. Somehow I can't figure out why, but it feels like it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I didn't get terrible cards. I didn't see us all sitting on the edge of the world wondering where a Big Mac's coming from. Although we should worry about where a Big Mac comes from because sometimes it's not beef.
Oh, speaking of that, while I was watching my granddaughter yesterday, we needed to go. Well, we took her to McDonald's, and we haven't ate at McDonald's in years. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Oh, I know the food. I if you read about what's in it, it's just nuts. It's like I finally got my daughter. My daughter's convinced two women who had been margarine eaters to go to butter. She opened it up, showed them what's in the margarine, showed them what's in the butter. They said, "Oops, no, no one understands tariffs." No, I used to be an accountant, and I don't understand tariffs except that they don't work. Thank you, artist Liz. We appreciate your contribution.
Yeah, Canada's in a I don't give a heck mode. I guess into September they're going to put their own tariffs on us,
Yeah.
and they're thinking about targeting Trump voting states harder,
Oh
just to
shit.
piss us off.
Just what we need. I've turned my volume up as loud as I can, Gino. I've turned it up. It's as loud as it goes. Looking at comments.
Okay, a quick different question, mix it up a little bit. A Democrat representative, Karen Whitsett, endorsed Mike Rogers. Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but I can guarantee you there's money involved in this. Let's read on. Is there money involved in this endorsement?
Few cards. Why is Karen endorsed? Democrat Karen. Oh, that's her own correct problem right there. She's a Karen.
That's oh, that's unfortunate. Poor women that got that name as a baby. And they looked so cute in the crib, and then they found out they were a Karen.
Yeah. The 2020s, they find out they're a Karen. No,
Oh
no
yeah.
objection to lovely Karens,
Okay.
of course.
She got this is she planted and worked in the party and they she feels like they screwed her over. I don't know what her story is. This was she just put off and put off and tried to put out all kinds of flares to say I'm not going to do this. Then one day she realized staying with the troops I'm playing with isn't paying me off. So this card literally is getting the boat with strangers and deciding to go on their trip. And her goal is money. I said, was this a payoff? Her goal's been money all along. I don't know
Um,
anything about the lady, but I guarantee you when they play those kind of games, they got pissed at the party. Did she run for something and lose?
I have no clue who she is.
Okay.
Just looking at the question.
Okay.
But I, there is money involved here. I get
Mm-hmm.
that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's something deeper. Like
Yeah, there was some animosity.
this, I think, no, I think there's something on her.
Oh.
Like she took some money and it's like, well, you better support me or I'm going to call you out on something.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some compromise on here with the anxieties and some darkness and some kind of disaster that happened in her life. And there, either money she took or something. So, like, I'm feeling like bribery or, you know, some kind of coercion here. And you need to express support for me. So I think that's why it's going on, because of some kind of compromise or something. Like the Republicans got something on her.
She's not seeking re-election, and she cites her reason for not doing that as faith-based. She's part of some weird Christian church.
Oh, good Lord.
So that says it all.
Well, she's getting out with the getting's good, I guess.
Yep. Well, she could have an Eric Swalwell problem back there, not specifically his, but something like that. Eric didn't get out when
Mm,
they threatened him.
the ballroom. Let's go to the ballroom.
It's not going to ever be built.
um,
I'll read on it again. You want to read on will it ever be built?
yeah. So what is it? Judge Roberts is letting it go forward for now. Imagine that. Let's see how this goes. Sure, Judge Roberts.
Oh,
Give the orange criminal $1 billion to build his ballroom.
did you see where
Well,
he
the upper part is not scheduled to be done supposedly till like 2029. But I mean, the bottom's already going. They might as well finish that part of it. But
well, they got to rebuild the foundation that's there anyway.
right.
Just think about will it be the East Wing again? Okay. I got this
Okay.
is such a goal for him and it's such a deflection. It's as long as you're saying ballroom, you're not saying Epstein, right?
Yep.
Um it's the Queen of Wands upside down. It's a bad enterprise. It's been put together by liars, but right now, yes, they are going ahead with it, but it's going to be tower time. It's never going to be built, guys. It's never going to be built.
Um, I got judgment upon the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the overall feeling is that ultimately the judgment about where the money's coming from will put it at a death card.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Current situations that our government just wants to build, 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 and be the sun. So Eight of Pentacles, our government building it, and the sun, because that's the information they're bringing out is the sun. It's like, oh, this is going to be so great. Da, da, da. The Emperor, um, has bad energy about everything else except this ballroom. So the only thing that makes him happy
Mm-hmm.
is him building something in his name or whatever. He just wants that to happen. So then at the end, I get 6 of Cups, the World, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Undecided how it's going to be because it's not going to be a ballroom. Weighted down burdens of this problem with the money. The world is a completion of new opportunities. So it's going to be different. 6 of Cups is going to be kind of like it was. It's going to be a facility that we can use for government purposes, not a ballroom. So I think it's kind of like we got before. That's going to be built, but it's going to be built
Mm-hmm.
to standards. You know, when we take over, Democrats take over, they can get plenty of oversight and stop stuff. But according to Roberts, oh, we need to look at it a little bit more before we can
We need to
decide.
look at Roberts a little bit more and get rid of him.
So many need to be impeached.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. This is true, Liz. He won't be of this world when it's completed. Yeah, the silly things he says about, oh, I'm having President Xi come and that would be great to have the ballroom.
He
He's so
doesn't
dumb.
care.
He's so dumb. Um, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, isn't he moving to Ireland?
I
And
don't
the
know.
Irish are not happy about it. Oh yeah.
They're just getting Meta's getting sued.
Hmm.
And
And it should. I tell you, Facebook's useless except for keeping up with old friends.
there's so many ads now, that doesn't even help.
No. And you start into something you're thinking this isn't an ad, and then it says you have to watch this to move on with the story, and you're going, no. I finally figured that one out.
I don't know. The proof is there. I think it's going to go bad for him. I thought he's already been sued and paid out a bunch.
In EU, they put up new guidelines that he can't get around. So I don't know what court.
Oh, the battle ensues.
Man, we have another Page of Cups, little liar. He sold illusion and delusion his whole life. He's really coming to the end of some things about this. Um, in part, he's having to look at what he's built, and some of what he's built is coming back to bite him. And he's not done yet. The world's not done with him yet. So, how's it going to go? I would say that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I get the loss.
Mm-hmm.
So the world comes in. It's a completion of things. It's many people too. That kind of feeling. And then I get the 5 of Cups. So he's standing there with the cups, the 3 cups down loss, and a win for families with the 10 of Cups. So I don't see him winning here. The past shows he's lost too. Lost money with the 8 of Cups here, with Meta being the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Wands, that messaging and what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Outcome, I get the Page of Pentacles. He's gonna have to pay up. Ace of Wands, better energy, and the Star and Queen of Pentacles, more money.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to be, he's gonna have to pay, and it have to be a better platform to protect people with the Star. So yeah, I think he's gonna lose. Okay. Uh, Random question. Let's see how that
Okay.
goes.
I like Mark Kelly. I'm not sure I wanted
Laura
him
wonders, what is Mark Kelly's chances
of being president.
of being president? That's true, Gene. Zuckerberg doesn't seem to have the emotional capacity to be a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mark Kelly.
I guess he's got a decent chance. It's not really a goal of his. I mean, he'd like it, but it's not because of what it being out there in public did to his wife. But if people engage him and bring him in, he'd like to do it. But there's too much of having to get along with people uh, that you don't really like all that much. But for him, it would be moving on. He's a good possible. He's moving on to a new future. I don't. It's not a yes, 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 but it's a he could do it if he wanted to. But there's things inside of him and how he relates to people that he has to get over.
Um, the current energy I get, it's not his goals.
No.
Um, Nine of Pentacles, he likes his security where he's at. The King of Pentacles, he feels secure, but the Five of Wands comes next to it. So it's like the energy or the need or want right now is not about presidency. You know, he's little Five of Wands, they're all battling each other, these little kitties.
Right.
So he's in for the fight right now. Um, Moving forward, I get the Eight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. He's in it for the hard work, but the Eight of Cups is walking away. You know that I get the feeling he's flattered. People are talking about, you know, him running for president, being it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I
You
don't
have
see
to
him.
really want to do that job. I mean,
It, it's a difficult
to
run.
do it well.
Um, my out card readings for the future show the Devil, King of Cups, Six of Wands, Two of Pentacles. So we get a man of honor, a man of family, having a victory, thinking about things, but I think the devil tells him no, not to do it.
Well, think of what he's in emotional energy, what he's already given up by having been this close to all this. So,
To me, right now, it feels like he's
well, the
flattered.
other people who could do it, he feels could do it better than he could.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't want the to put in that huge of an effort, that to be in that kind of scrutiny. He likes being a federal senator. I think he would probably stay that route
Mm-hmm.
right now. The energy right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember how old he is? Is he in his 60s?
Mm.
I mean, it's not
No.
necessary, but
And somebody put in there, why are we not speaking about women? Um, to run, let's see, 62.
so he's got, you know, he's not an old guy. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you, Liz. Is Harper Russian agent? Don't have a good feeling about her. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that when I was having an email back and forth with another reader yesterday, and that's what both of us saw. She's been put in place by the oligarchs. Well,
Okay.
let me see.
Natalie Harp. She doesn't seem bright enough to be a spy.
No, some spies are not that smart.
Natalie Harp,
Yeah,
Russian spy.
she doesn't even know it, really. She got in with a group of people and they tell her to do things this way. She's in the middle of transitioning, moving on, but she's a liar. She's the Knight of Cups upside down. And she's just there gleaning information to give to them and to control him so that um, she's not. Somebody asked if she was there by Putin, and when I did a reading on that, it was no, it's the oligarchs. She's an agent from another group. Yeah. For entertainment purposes only. Yes, artist Liz.
Hmm. Weird. So there is deception about her motives with the moon and the Eight of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Draw different priorities. That's next to the Four of Pentacles. That's control of a situation. And her being a Queen of Swords. A bit of a cover up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, independent woman that's organizing. Hmm. In the past, she had some money issues, either with a union or with another male or something. Something went wrong. And someone brought her into strength. She found a good situation here with the within the Republican Party here. Money, someone, another male, a professional brought her in.
Mm-hmm.
Be a page of wands, enthusiastic avenue person here. And then I get the devil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think there's anything good about her every time I read about her. It's icky.
She's dishonest, self imposed. She's got an addiction. And that's next to the Knight of Pentacles. She's doing work for another. The Knight is like the steady progress, doing something for honor. Knight of Cups. Oof, it shows some kind of romantic thing there. And then suffering. Deep down, I don't think she likes this. But yeah, I this shows some kind of control from another party here
Mm-hmm.
that got her out of a situation from the past, and she left. She leaned something. So this is not showing spying, like a Russian spy or agent. It shows she is there for a purpose, and it's deceptive. I kind of asked in my mind if she's a Russian spy, please show me the um, Empress card, my Russia card, and that didn't show up. But still, it's weird.
Yeah, she comes
It,
from a strange, strange family. And her brother, who is not part of the family structure, has talked about how bizarre it is.
yeah, I mean, she did have dad issues. Wish for a dad, but there's something else that got to her as far as this. I mean, like,
Well, if you lived in a world that was completely delusional, even if it was the really, really, if you've never been around a completely delusional Christian right household, you have no idea what delusion is. But if she was raised in that, she has no filter to understand what's real and what's not. What's the future of Cuba?
oh, Cuba, how are you gonna deal? Do they have? He's the diaper changer.
Well, remember the dark-haired girl that was following him around on the first campaign that used to steam
Hope
his Hope.
Hope Hicks.
Yeah,
Hope
Hope.
Hicks.
Yeah. she's sort of that kind of a person to him now.
There was also that Madeline Westerhout. She was there too until she spilled the beans on something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the future of Cuba? It's really coming down to an end. It's not going to be pretty when we get to the end because we got that card. And other people are going to have to kind of come in and help stabilize the country. There's going to be a lot of resentment against that because they've already had the Russians and other people try to do that. But the future of Cuba is not certain, but it's going to require the intervention of people other than the people on the island because it's a little island. It needs a lot of support.
Failure of leadership currently. Um, it's bad right now according to these cards.
Oh, yeah.
So I get a tower with the current leadership. Difficult to pick their fruit of their labors and have good rewards. A lot of conflicts, trying to have good energy with the Five of Swords with their resources. So that's all bad. A lot of betrayals for the people there. Outcome I get trying to get better is going to be difficult. I get my broken and tossed away card next to the Eight of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of restrictions and problems. It's going to take divine feminine energy. The Empress on the bottom. It's going to have to take a huge change, and it's going to take a long time. New leadership. Didn't I hear there is a new election coming? If they can even get the poll or whatnot.
And for which? Cuba?
Cuba, yeah.
Well,
I mean, one, United States has got to stop blockading everything and just let them try to help.
AI just tried to take over my StreamYard.
AI.
Big second screen said, AI can help you with this.
Oh,
They're going to
jeez.
make sure it turns you into an AI, Scott.
Oh, what the heck? Is Trump having to be talked out of using nukes?
Yes, every day. Don't get me started. I grew up huddled under my desks in the 50s in school. I can't even read on that question, Scott. If you want to read on it, fine. I'm going to go back up to the beginning. I really, it's. I will have nightmares for days.
Oh, the orange one has those dark thoughts of doing it. Look at that transition picture.
Yeah.
45
I don't want to see those
does
images.
have those thoughts. He's delusional. He's stressed. He wants that change in Iran. He doesn't care. He's in the moon. Oh God.
Yeah, you don't want to read that, Scott. Why don't
I,
you?
yeah, I think he brings that up often. That's the only way we can get out of this Iran situation.
If I smelled as bad as he did, I would think that too, because that would get rid of the odor.
God, those cards were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He is not mentally well, as we know.
Okay, so let's move on to something else. Like, will Hakeem Jeffries ever grow up here?
Yeah. Yes, I believe that ETs will prevent any nukes from happening. Yes.
And they protect power plants too, so they can't blow up.
We looked at Cuba, and you were saying about which one?
Hakeem Jeffries, way at
Hakeem.
the top. Yes.
Will Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. Future of Hakeem Jeffries. Which cards want that one? this one.
I'm going to put those on my. I'm going to use my spiritual tarot, the one based on saints that the deck Nath created. And you're going to have to follow my words on this one, guys, because the images don't help much.
Future of Hakeem Jeffries.
And the comment immediately below this one is, wishing everyone well, healthy hugs from Brutally Honest. Thank you, Brutally Honest.
Yeah.
It's the future. I'm doing the future. I'm not asking if he's going to remove from office.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
I saw him when Obama got elected. I saw him at a public speech. He came when they were trying to pull the party back together. And he was absolutely brilliant speaker. And I thought, this is the kind of energy we need. And then he got sucked into the power structure. So.
In the past, I get. What's that?
Go.
Oh, in the past, I get he was all ready to be leader.
Mm-hmm.
He was ready to be that emperor. And now I get there's some money that came in, maybe APAC or whatever, and he's being kind of divisive with the Knight of Swords on the star that he was, but there's some money affecting his. So I think there's a new Page of Cups coming into the fold here. So I think the Democrat Party within is secretly talking with the Hermit, a little more soul searching on who they want as leader. Outcome. It looks like a male again. So I get a Hierophant. It doesn't feel like government. It feels like a more down to earth, spiritual person. Not like a Talarico, but someone more grounded than Hakeem has been. People feel betrayed by Hakeem right now with the Seven of Swords. Page of Swords is more deceitful person, and the Lovers. So he's connecting with the wrong group. So it does feel like he's not going to be voted in as leader.
Okay, this is the Six of Swords. He's on his way out. He's on his way to the end of this journey. And it's because he allowed himself to get caught up in the to and fro in the party that's not productive. The people just sort of fighting with each other to fight with each other. And trust me, there's tons of that. That led him away from dealing with the best part of government. And it led him away from being the empress, the best parts of himself. And so now he's sitting. This is the important card. He's sitting with the Seven of Coins. He's sitting at the bush. Does this work for me? And that's what he feels like. So what I got is these are the two important cards that he betrayed his understanding of the outside government. He also betrayed the inside of himself about what makes him peaceful. So it starts with a little compromise and then it becomes an overwhelming compromise. So I think he will not be there. And I think some of these people that the party is fighting so hard against that they call socialist Democrats, those socialist Democrats are saying what Democrats said when I was a kid. And so they're not socialist Democrats.
Right. I just think people need to stop with the dialogue because socialist still fears people. People still fear that term.
No, they don't fear it when it's socialism for business, when their government has to bail business out when it's hurting. But when it comes to individual.
I get that. But I'm just
Such
saying,
indecisive.
independents and moderates do not like that term. That's all it is. The
Oh, I
term.
understand. I understand. Well, it's
They
like,
need
what party do we belong to, Scott? You and I?
Democratic.
Yes, because that whole thing about taking the ick off the Democratic Party was a word game that they played in the 70s and 80s, and it carried on. And it makes me nuts when I hear people say that. But anyway, enough about Nancy's tender feelings.
I get it.
I know I jumped Scott one day and I said, "What party do you belong to?"
Yep.
Okay. Gene
Most
O.
people,
Hi, Gene. How's Connecticut? What about dialogue?
yeah. This, you're correct, Liz. This people don't understand what the socialism term is. And indigo, yes, Trump is the communist one. We understand it as a collective people of understanding, but you know,
Dialogue. Let's deal with dialogue. What are they doing over in dialogue? Doesn't look good. I read about the organization of dialogue, and what it does is it's this is the three of cups in this deck, and it's upside down in my reading, which means it says we're making everything balanced. We're bringing all kinds of people. What they're doing is swaying people over to their way of looking at it. Right now, what we're beginning to understand is we have the reversed hangman. They're being revealed, and that is not making Teal very happy. But Teal spent a lot of his life keeping stuff in the closet. So,
hmm
you know, he's one of those people. Just be who you are. And we're not getting the information fast enough to understand what's going on around it. And, but when people begin to understand who they are and how this is a Four of Cups reversed, it's going to bring great changes. There's going to be a lot of people taking a second look at people like Chris Murphy and like Cory Booker. Although you can say, and this is Nancy putting a rainbow around something, um, they may be over there just seeing what they're saying. How are you going to know unless you go out with them? And there were times when the fact I had befriended and got to know Republicans, it helped me in the political world because we would share information with each other towards the moderate middle. Now, the fact Teal's name's in there means it's not the moderate middle, but
yeah. Um,
what'd you get?
Turtle Kitty, yes, I do know Milwaukee had two excellent socialist mayors. Yep. And yes, subtitles do not come up until after the stream is
Yeah, because it can't subtitle.
run
It's
through
not
the
like
system and
right.
downloaded, and then the replay can show subtitles. Um, yeah, Earth Mama. A better word for socialism would be balancing the system.
Or to
But
talk
yeah,
about
it's
the
it's
way.
it's it's still a, you know, the way Republicans put it all out there, it makes it a scare word,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what gets through people's minds. So anyway, the why are Murphy and Booker part of this dialogue meeting group?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they didn't want to be known to be part of this because they had the Four of Swords with Temperance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there was Ace of Wands with it, you know, expanding your potential.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. So there's new determination, there's professional work involved in there, and try to make things better. So when they were part of this, I don't know if they still are, but they were linked in the as being at meetings or whatever for this. So then I get strength, which is courage, 7 Pentacles, sudden gain in investments, work, and King of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
There may have been, you know, with finances or whatever. Yeah, Nancy, hurry up.
Bye, Nancy. Bye, Nancy.
My Nancy said she's leaving.
Okay.
But I get the moon at the end. It's kind of a betrayal to people for them being involved with TL. I get the 8 of Cups. They might be walking away from it, abandoning being part of this justice and the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when they thought they were being fair, like middle of the road people to hear dialogue, be part of something, but it feels like it went down a path they weren't willing to go. So they feel like they're walking away from being part of this group in the current situation. But it feels like it was part of justice or just being part of a dialogue and whatnot. It doesn't feel like it's nefarious.
That's why they called it dialogue. I don't think
Um,
it's nefarious.
they may have gotten some tips or money or investing. I don't know, being in this. I do have gaining funds to be part of something, but it doesn't feel totally nefarious to me. But just being but Peter Thiel is a nefarious type person nowadays. So I get judgment upon them for being involved. So if they're still involved, that's an issue, but it feels like they're walking away from anything about this. But originally it felt more balanced, just be part of a dialogue, be part of a growth of what we may want for the future or whatever, but it may have went wrong ways. Uh-oh. Nancy disappear? What we got? 8 minutes left? Okay. Where else we got? Parent, and I'm all blurry. What the heck's going on here? Come on, camera. Go back to normal. I'm blurry. Stop. Well, that ain't good. Hopefully it goes back to normal. Paramount is threatening to move out of California. I don't know. It feels like the costs are too high for Paramount to move. I think it's just a threat to get out of any settlement or something. Wish this would stop. I don't like the blurriness. Come on. I'm sorry. Blurry. Oh, we're coming back. I used my little angel and it got back. Okay. Paramount moving. Paramount moving. Knight of Cups, staying still. The devil deals before conflicts. They're secure there. They're discussing past, but uh-oh. Nancy Jean's calling quick. Hello.
Wow.
You stuck on out?
Yeah.
My whole internet's down. I can't do anything.
Okay, there's only like 5 minutes left anyway, so I'll tell everyone your internet quit on you.
Yeah, it must be me. I don't know if you went down.
Nope, I'm still on.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you were swimming. Let me see if there's any hope.
Okay,
I
I better get.
restarted everything.
All right,
Okay,
I'll get
bye.
back. Bye. Nancy's internet went down. Thank you. It doesn't feel like they're gonna move. It's threatening. They're secure there, but they are evaluating their options. But I get the Empress and my angelic card, so I feel secure where they're at. I think it's just corporate games of threats. Oh, good lord, the Clancy case. Um, I've already looked at this case. Actually, I didn't really know about it, but oh, I don't know if Nancy wants to get in on this. She came back.
Yes, it was me. My internet went down.
I don't know if you want to get in on this Lindsay Clancy case with psychiatric.
Oh, I don't know enough about it. I've had postpartum depression myself. I will tell you it's not an easy thing. And I don't know that I would march around. I would let the people sitting in the courtroom listen to the testimony. And the problem is that there are a lot of people who don't take postpartum depression seriously enough. I only had it 3 days. One day in the first pregnancy, and 2 days in the second pregnancy. And unfortunately, one of the 2 days was the day when I was supposed to be taking a midterm when I was in graduate school, and I had to get my doctor to write a letter explaining what was going on. I didn't need medication for it. I kind of snapped out of it, but it is it is so frightening. You cannot think. You have no higher powers of thinking. And this woman had a lot of other pressures on her. She had a husband who apparently was on his way out the door. She had 3 little kids. Trust me, it's just an ugly scene, and I grieve for the children that happened. But I wouldn't march outside a courtroom. Having sat on grand juries and listened to testimony, it's better if you listen to what's in the courtroom than what's out on the streets.
Yeah. My daughter and I had long conversation, and she went through it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just thoughts were in her head that she would never think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like picking up a knife to hurt her child or something, or hurt herself. So
Well,
it's scary.
I was trying to study for a test, and I've heard dyslexics talk about this, that the symbols on the page would dance around, and I thought, I'm going nuts, you know. And meanwhile, I'm holding Casey, who's now 48, and trying to talk and be nice to her, and I realized that I could not go take the test I needed to take that night, but I knew the information. When I went 2 weeks later and took the test, I was fine. I aced it. But that's when I had my fascist cost accounting teacher, whose first name was Adolf, and he was born in Holland during the Nazi occupation. They'll give you any idea who Adolf was. And he wasn't taking any part of it, but the dean made him accept my excuse and let me take the test late. Then when I showed up with the baby in a carrier, he said, that child can't be in the room with you while you're taking this test. I said, she's not giving me notes. I mean, she can barely babble. And ended up, I was crying in the hallway, and the dean came by and he said, what's wrong? And I said, Adolf Enthoven won't let me take my tests because I have a child in a child carrier. He said, fine, I'll take her down to my office. Go tell Adolf you get to take the test. So when I walked in and I told him, I'm here to take the test, he said, where'd you put the child? Like he was about to go up and down the lockers looking for her. And I said, she's in the dean's office. And he said, what? And I said, the dean said he'd take care of her so I could take my test. And I aced it. with all that pressure around me. But and yeah, it's a terrifying thing. And when you come out of it, I thank God I only had it for a couple days, because I was all it was keeping our family together at that point. So
So,
that's
so Freddie asked about the outcome. My intuitive thoughts think she's going to be committed to a mental hospital or something, you know, like involuntary. She didn't have control of it, but she's going to be hospitalized.
mm-hmm.
I was getting the sense that her husband didn't do enough. He contributed to the situation by not
Mm-hmm.
being supportive with the meds or whatever. So, in a sense, he was at at fault in ways, but I don't feel like he was criminal. He was more like a subhuman type person in the situation.
I just think he had no empathy. He had no idea what was going on around. My wife's just, you hear people say things like, my wife's just acting crazy, or my husband's just doing strange things. And, when someone says that, you don't want to poke around. You're not a shrink. You're not going to poke around in their marriage and find out how weird is weird.
Yeah. So, to me, it feels like the jury will have sympathy, but she's got to
She
be.
still killed 3 kids. You
Yeah, she's
can't
still
give
close.
me,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's not like the woman who put her 3 kids in the back of the car and pushed them into the lake, which happened like 20, 30 something years ago. And it was so she could run off with her boyfriend. It's different. You
Okay.
know,
Now we're done with that. One more question, and we'll get for inspiration that we
okay,
need. Let's see what's up in North Korea.
okay.
Will North
Have you
Korea ever get out of the?
have you ever seen that picture from the space station when they fly around the world and you can see all the cities that are lit up and the nighttime? They fly over North Korea. It's just as a black dot, just a black dot. There's no lights. There's nothing.
Oh,
That's
in North Korea.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's a spooky
Okay, North
thing.
Korea. What? North Korea. North Korea. Oh,
Yeah, but it's a painful journey. They're moving in that direction, but yeah, they're really at the 10 of wands. It's closer than we think, which is one of the reasons why Dumpsty wanted to screw with the Japanese thing. It's it's not a place that has much prosperity, but the magician is coming, and new people are coming in. It's closer than we think. I don't have a timing card on this, but I love their magician. It's a popey guy.
hmm.
What'd you get?
Strange reading because everything is good. It didn't really, tell me a story of the pain or anything like that. It just showing better change.
Mm-hmm.
But my question was, will they ever be free?
They'll
Yes,
be free.
it's showing yes, better times,
And
better
that showed
leadership.
closer than I thought. My reading showed closer than I thought it would be.
The only bad cards are basically the deception of the moon of what they're currently going through.
Mm-hmm.
There's no happiness and good times. It's all under bad control with a high priestess, a powerful figure. But then everything else moves into celebrations, moving in a change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, an empress situation with a different kind of leader. And then it almost feels like a union with North and South Korea. Like at the Star,
When those two
King
sides
of
get together,
Swords,
yeah,
Magician,
it's
and
going
Ten
to
of
be crazy.
Pentacles, like sharing, wealth. So
Well, see,
eventually, yeah,
the last thing China wants is for them to have that free nation next to them. That will screw China. That's why they've kept them oppressed. And uh, the innovation that's going to come out of that country is going to be incredible. Okay, you
I don't
want
know how
another
the heck that
card?
can happen when that family's rule. Yeah. Crazy. Okay,
Okay,
inspiration.
inspiration. I got transformation, obsidian, and sheen of obsidian invokes the states of transformation. It assists in the letting go process. It represents empowerment, and we've got this eclipse coming up on the 27th, 28th, depending on where you are, and it's going to be an incredible release. And like I said early in the show, on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I'm doing a show with Dorothy Morgan about using this incredible. Somebody in here they'd been feeling sick and tired and a little upset, and they couldn't put their finger on it. That's the eclipses. That's what's been going on around us.
Hmm.
We're having complete change of consciousness. First eclipse was your soul, your ego being blocked by the moon. Now you're going to have the moon in full eclipse, and this is going to be an interesting one to go out and see. It's going to be very full in the U.S., and I know Central Daylight Time it happens about 11:16, which means 10:16 Mountain Time and 9:16. But it's going to be a blood red moon that's going to show, so ought to be fun.
Then you got buy Nancy a coffee if you would like to.
Yep,
So
buy me a
that
coffee. Go to my web, find out. I'm still open seats in my tarot class. And if you're a member of my channel, which you have to be a member, not just a subscriber, we're doing a book club on an interesting tale of how to grow about how a woman grew her mediumistic powers. It's a fictional book, but it's really good.
Alrighty. My inspiration cards talk about it's the Nine of Swords, Six of Swords, and the World.
Mm-hmm.
So the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Michael, is always that anxiety card.
Mm-hmm.
But the inspiration cards talk about changing your focus and that your worry is unnecessary. And releasing releasing these thoughts of this worry doesn't do you any good.
Mm-hmm.
Six of Michael talks about there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Things will get better. You can breathe again. And the world is all about happy endings and spiritual growth and coming full circle
Mm-hmm.
with the world card here. So always remember things can always be worse. Um, even though it's always crazy with this man still in our life, but focus on better outcomes, and that will help speed our healing up in this universe rather than
Mm-hmm.
delving into like, even though every day we kind of see the message, is he dead yet? It would be nice, but don't bring that worry into your own world. We have better things to do than worry about the orange orangutan all the time.
Oh, I know. And really just stay away from the fear factors. I'm really happy today I didn't see that many fear questions, except for he has his fingers on the nuke button, and you saw my fear about that one. So,
Yeah,
but that's
not good.
not good. Not
But
good. Well, you have a lovely time in Wisconsin, and I hear that this giant cold front's going to sweep through the Midwest and all the way down the East Coast, and it's still going to be hot here. So,
that's the way it rolls. Some places get sun, some places get rain, some places get nothing.
and we're less than 100 days away from the midterm elections. So, get to know who your candidates are, get to know where your polling places are, get to know all the rules that are established around you, and vote early.
Vote early. Make sure you check your registrations every once in a while. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for hanging out with
Thank
us.
you.
Have a blessed day and be well.